Lion. The lion, Panthera leo, is a species in the family Felidae. It is a muscular, deep-chested cat with a short, rounded head, a reduced neck and round ears, and a hairy tuft at the end of its tail. It is sexually dimorphic. Male lions have a prominent mane, which is the most recognizable feature of the species. With a typical head-to-body length of 184 to 208 centimeters, 72 to 82 in, they are larger than females at 160 to 184 centimeters, 63 to 72 in. It is a social species, forming groups called prides. A lion pride consists of a few adult males, related females and cubs. Groups of female lions usually hunt together, preying mostly on large ungulates. The lion is an apex and keystone predator, although some lions scavenge when opportunities occur, and have been known to hunt humans, although the species typically does not. Typically, the lion inhabits grasslands and savannas but is absent in dense forests. It is usually more diurnal than other big cats, but when persecuted it adapts to being active at night and at twilight. In the Pleistocene, the lion ranged throughout Eurasia, Africa and North America, but today it has been reduced to fragmented populations in sub-Saharan Africa and one critically endangered population in western India. It has been listed as vulnerable on the UN Red List since 1996 because populations in African countries have declined by about 43% since the early 1990s. Lion populations are untenable outside designated protected areas. Although the cause of the decline is not fully understood, habitat loss and conflicts with humans are the greatest causes for concern. One of the most widely recognized animal symbols in human culture, the lion has been extensively depicted in sculptures and paintings, on national flags, and in contemporary films and literature. Lions have been kept in menageries since the time of the Roman Empire and have been a key species sought for exhibition in zoological gardens across the world since the late 18th century. Cultural depictions of lions were prominent in the Upper Paleolithic period. Carvings and paintings from the Lascaux and Chauvet caves in France have been dated to 17,000 years ago, and depictions have occurred in virtually all ancient and medieval cultures that coincided with the lion's former and current ranges. Etymology. The word lion is derived from Latin, leo and ancient Greek, lambda omega nu, leon. The word lavi, Hebrew, may also be related. Taxonomy. Felis leo was the scientific name used by Carl Linnaeus in 1758, who described the lion in his work Systematiae. The genus name Panthera was coined by German naturalist Lorenz Oken in 1816. Between the mid-18th and mid-20th centuries, 26 lion specimens were described and proposed as subspecies, of which 11 were recognized as valid in 2005. They were distinguished on the basis of appearance, size and color of mane. Because these characteristics show much variation between individuals, most of these forms were probably not true subspecies, especially because they were often based upon museum material with striking, but abnormal morphological characteristics. Subspecies. In the 19th and 20th centuries, several lion-type specimens were described and proposed as subspecies, with about a dozen recognized as valid taxa until 2017. Between 2008 and 2016, UN Red List assessors used only two subspecific names, P.L. Leo for African lion populations and P.L. Persica for the Asiatic lion population. In 2017, the Cat Classification Task Force of the Cat Specialist Group revised lion taxonomy, and recognizes two subspecies based on results of several phylogeographic studies on lion evolution, namely, lion samples from some parts of the Ethiopian highlands cluster genetically with those from Cameroon and Chad, while lions from other areas of Ethiopia cluster with samples from East Africa. Researchers therefore assume that Ethiopia is a contact zone between the two subspecies. Fossil records. Other lion subspecies or sister species to the modern lion existed in prehistoric times. Evolution. The lion's closest relatives are the other species of the genus Panthera, namely tiger, snow leopard, jaguar, and leopard. Results of phylogenetic studies published in 2006 and 2009 indicate that the jaguar and the lion belong to one sister group that diverged about 2.06 million years ago. Results of later studies indicate that the leopard and the lion belong to the same sister group, which diverged 3.1 to 1.95 million years ago. The geographic origin of the Panthera is most likely northern Central Asia. The leopard-lion clade was distributed in the Asian and African Palearctic since at least the early Pliocene. The clade consisting of lion and Eurasian cave lion is thought to have diverged in Africa or Holarctic Asia, 2.93 to 1.23 million years ago. Hybridization between common ancestors of lion and snow leopard may have continued until about 2.1 million years ago. The Eurasian and American cave lions became extinct at the end of the last glacial period without mitochondrial descendants on other continents. The modern lion was probably widely distributed in Africa during the Middle Pleistocene and started to diverge in sub-Saharan Africa during the Late Pleistocene. Lion populations in East and Southern Africa became separated from populations in West and North Africa when the equatorial rainforest expanded 183,500 to 81,800 years ago. The expansion of the Sahara 83,100 to 26,600 years ago caused the separation of populations in West and North Africa. As the rainforest decreased, thus giving rise to more open habitats, lions moved from West to Central Africa. Lions from North Africa dispersed to Southern Europe and Asia 38,800 to 8,300 ago. Extinction of lions in Southern Europe, North Africa and the Middle East interrupted gene flow between lion populations in Asia and Africa. Genetic evidence revealed numerous mutations in lion samples from East and Southern Africa, which indicates that this group has a longer evolutionary history than genetically less diverse lion samples from Asia and West and Central Africa. Results of phylogeographic research indicate that the two living lion subspecies diverged about 245,000 years ago. Dubious subspecies. Hybrids. In zoos, lions have been bred with tigers to create hybrids called liger and tigon. Male ligers are sterile but many females are fertile. The liger is much bigger than a lion and a tiger, typically 3.65 meters, 12.0 feet, in length, and weighing up to 500 kilograms, 1,100 pounds. Most tigons are relatively small compared with their parents because of reciprocal gene effects. A lion crossed with a leopard is called a lepin. Description. The lion is a muscular, deep-chested cat with a short, rounded head, a reduced neck and round ears. Its fur varies in color from light buff to silvery gray, yellowish red and dark brown. The colors of the underparts are generally lighter. A newborn lion has dark spots, which fade as the cub reaches adulthood, although faint spots often may still be seen on the legs and underparts. The lion is the only member of the cat family that displays obvious sexual dimorphism. Males have broader heads and a prominent mane that grows downwards and backwards covering most of the head, neck, shoulders, and chest. The mane is typically brownish and tinged with yellow, rust and black hairs. The tail of all lions ends in a dark, hairy tuft that in some lions conceals an approximately 5 mm, 0.20 in, long, hard spine or spur that is formed from the final, fused sections of tail bone. The functions of the spur are unknown. The tuft is absent at birth and develops at around 5.5 months of age. It is readily identifiable by the age of 7 months. Of the living felid species, the lion is rivaled only by the tiger in length, weight and height at the shoulder. Its skull is very similar to that of the tiger, although the frontal region is usually more depressed and flattened, and has a slightly shorter postorbital region and broader nasal openings than those of the tiger. Due to the amount of skull variation in the two species, usually only the structure of the lower jaw can be used as a reliable indicator of species. The size and weight of adult lions varies across global range and habitats. Accounts of a few individuals that were larger than average exist from Africa and India. Mane. The lion's mane is the most recognizable feature of the species. It starts growing when lions are about a year old. Mane color varies and darkens with age. Research shows its color and size are influenced by environmental factors such as average ambient temperature. Mane length apparently signals fighting success in male-male relationships. Darker mane individuals may have longer reproductive lives and higher offspring survival, although they suffer in the hottest months of the year. The presence, absence, color and size of the mane are associated with genetic precondition, sexual maturity, climate and testosterone production. The rule of thumb is that a darker, fuller mane indicates a healthier animal. In Serengeti National Park, female lions favor males with dense, dark manes as mates. The main purpose of the mane is thought to be the protection of the neck and throat in territorial fights with rivals. Cool ambient temperature in European and North American zoos may result in a heavier mane. Asiatic lions usually have sparser manes than average African lions. Almost all male West African lions in Panthera National Park are either maneless or have very short manes. Maneless lions have also been reported in Senegal, in Sudan's Dinder National Park and in Tsavo East National Park, Kenya. The original male white lion from Timbavati in South Africa was also maneless. The hormone testosterone has been linked to mane growth. Castrated lions often have little to no mane because the removal of the gonads inhibits testosterone production. Increased testosterone may be the cause of mane lioness as reported in northern Botswana. The lion's mane may have evolved around 320,000 to 190,000 years ago. Cave paintings of extinct Eurasian cave lions almost exclusively show hunting animals without a mane. Some suggest that this is evidence that they were indeed maneless. Color variation. The white lion is a rare morph with a genetic condition called leucism that is caused by a double recessive allele. It is not albino, it has normal pigmentation in the eyes and skin. White lions have occasionally been encountered in and around Kruger National Park and the adjacent Timbavati Private Game Reserve in eastern South Africa. They were removed from the wild in the 1970s, thus decreasing the white lion gene pool. Nevertheless, 17 births have been recorded in 5 prides between 2007 and 2015. White lions are selected for breeding in captivity. They have reportedly been bred in camps in South Africa for use as trophies to be killed during canned hunts. Distribution and habitat. African lions live in scattered populations across sub-Saharan Africa. The lion prefers grassy plains and savannas, scrub bordering rivers and open woodlands with bushes. It is absent from rainforest and rarely enters closed forest. On Mount Elgin, the lion has been recorded up to an elevation of 3,600 meters, 11,800 feet, and close to the snow line on Mount Kenya. Lions occur in savanna grasslands with scattered acacia trees, which serve as shade. The Asiatic lion now only survives in and around Gir Forest National Park in Gujarat, western India. Its habitat is a mixture of dry savanna forest and very dry, deciduous scrub forest. Historical range. In Africa, the range of the lion originally spanned most of the central rainforest zone in the Sahara Desert. In the 1960s, it became extinct in North Africa, except in the southern part of Sudan. In southern Europe and Asia, the lion once ranged in regions where climatic conditions supported an abundance of prey. In Greece, it was common as reported by Herodotus in 480 BC. By 300 BC, it was considered rare and extirpated by 180. Until the 10th century, it ranged in the Caucasus, its last European outpost. It lived in Palestine until the Middle Ages, and in Southwest Asia until the late 19th century. By the late 19th century, it had been extirpated in most of Turkey. The last live lion in Iran was sighted in 1942, about 65 kilometers, 40 miles, northwest of Dezful. The corpse of a lioness was found on the banks of the Karun River in Khuzestan province in 1944. No subsequent reliable records exist from Iran. The lion population in Pakistan, India once ranged from Sindh and Punjab to Bengal and the Narmada River in central India. Behavior and ecology. Lions spend much of their time resting. They are inactive for about 20 hours per day. Although lions can be active at any time, their activity generally peaks after dusk with a period of socializing, grooming and defecating. Intermittent bursts of activity continue until dawn, when hunting most often takes place. They spend an average of 2 hours a day walking and 50 minutes eating. Group organization. The lion is the most social of all wild felid species, living in groups of related individuals with their offspring. Such a group is called a pride. Groups of male lions are called coalitions. Females form the stable social unit in a pride and do not tolerate outside females. Membership only changes with the births and deaths of lionesses, although some females leave and become nomadic. The average pride consists of around 15 lions, including several adult females and up to 4 males and their cubs of both sexes. Large prides, consisting of up to 30 individuals, have been observed. The sole exception to this pattern is the Tsavo lion pride that always has just one adult male. Male cubs are excluded from their maternal pride when they reach maturity at around 2 or 3 years of age. Some lions are nomads that range widely and move around sporadically, either in pairs or alone. Pairs are more frequent among related males who have been excluded from their birth pride. A lion may switch lifestyles. Nomads can become residents and vice versa. Interactions between prides and nomads tend to be hostile, although pride females in estrus allow nomadic males to approach them. Males spend years in a nomadic phase before gaining residence in a pride. A study undertaken in the Serengeti National Park revealed that nomadic coalitions gain residency at between 3.5 and 7.3 years of age. In Kruger National Park, dispersing male lions move more than 25 kilometers, 16 miles, away from their natal pride in search of their own territory. Female lions stay closer to their natal pride. Therefore, female lions in an area are more closely related to each other than male lions in the same area. The area occupied by a pride is called a pride area, whereas that occupied by a nomad is a range. Males associated with a pride tend to stay on the fringes, patrolling their territory. The reasons for the development of sociality in lionesses, the most pronounced in any cat species, are the subject of much debate. Increased hunting success appears to be an obvious reason, but this is uncertain upon examination. Coordinated hunting allows for more successful predation but also ensures non-hunting members reduce per capita calorific intake. Some females, however, take a role raising cubs that may be left alone for extended periods. Members of the pride tend to regularly play the same role in hunts and hone their skills. The health of the hunters is the primary need for the survival of the pride. Hunters are the first to consume the prey at the site it is taken. Other benefits include possible kin selection, sharing food within the family, protecting the young, maintaining territory, and individual insurance against injury and hunger. Both males and females defend the pride against intruders, but the male lion is better suited for this purpose due to its stockier, more powerful build. Some individuals consistently lead the defense against intruders, while others lag behind. Lions tend to assume specific roles in the pride. Slower moving individuals may provide other valuable services to the group. Alternatively, there may be rewards associated with being a leader that fends off intruders. The rank of lionesses in the pride is reflected in these responses. The male or males associated with the pride must defend their relationship with the pride from outside males who may attempt to usurp them. Asiatic lion prides differ in group composition. Male Asiatic lions are solitary or associate with up to 3 males, forming a loose pride, while females associate with up to 12 other females, forming a stronger pride together with their cubs. Female and male lions associate only when mating. Coalitions of males hold territory for a longer time than single lions. Males in coalitions of 3 or 4 individuals exhibit a pronounced hierarchy, in which one male dominates the others and mates more frequently. Hunting and diet. The lion is a generalist hypercarnivore and is considered to be both an apex and keystone predator due to its wide prey spectrum. Its prey consists mainly of mammals, particularly ungulates, weighing 190 to 550 kilograms, 420 to 1,210 pounds, with a preference for blue wildebeest, plains zebra, African buffalo, gemsbok and giraffe. Lions also hunt common warthog depending on availability, although the species is below the preferred weight range. In India, sambar deer and chital are the most commonly recorded wild prey, while domestic livestock may contribute significantly to their diet. They usually avoid fully grown adult elephants, rhinoceroses and hippopotamus, as well as small prey like dik-dik, hyrax, hare and vervet monkey. Unusual prey items include porcupines and small reptiles. Lions kill other predators such as leopard, cheetah and spotted hyena but seldom consume them. Young lions first display stalking behavior at around 3 months of age, although they do not participate in hunting until they are almost a year old and begin to hunt effectively when nearing the age of 2. Single lions are capable of bringing down prey much larger than themselves, such as zebra and wildebeest, while larger prey like buffalo and giraffes are riskier. In Kruger National Park, large prides have been observed hunting subadult and even adult African bush elephants. In typical hunts, each lioness has a favored position in the group, either stalking prey on the wing, then attacking, or moving a smaller distance in the center of the group and capturing prey fleeing from other lionesses. Males attached to prides do not usually participate in group hunting. Some evidence suggests, however, that males are just as successful as females. They are typically solo hunters who ambush prey in small bushland. Lions are not particularly known for their stamina. For instance, a lioness' heart comprises only 0.57% of her body weight and a male's is about 0.45% of his body weight, whereas a hyena's heart comprises almost 1% of its body weight. Thus, lions only run quickly in short bursts and need to be close to their prey before starting the attack. They take advantage of factors that reduce visibility. Many kills take place near some form of cover or at night. The lion's attack is short and powerful. They attempt to catch prey with a fast rush and final leap, and usually kill prey by strangulation. which can cause cerebral ischemia or asphyxia and results in hypoxemia or hypoxia. They also kill prey by enclosing its mouth and nostrils in their jaws, which also results in asphyxia. Lions typically consume prey at the location of the hunt but sometimes drag large prey into cover. They tend to squabble over kills, particularly the males. Cubs suffer most when food is scarce, but otherwise all pride members eat their fill, including old and crippled lions, which can live on leftovers. Large kills are shared more widely among pride members. An adult lioness requires an average of about 5 kilograms, 11 pounds, of meat per day, while males require about 7 kilograms, 15 pounds. Lions gorge themselves and eat up to 30 kilograms, 66 pounds, in one session. If it is unable to consume all of the kill, it rests for a few hours before continuing to eat. On hot days, the pride retreats to shade with 1 or 2 males standing guard. Lions defend their kills from scavengers such as vultures and hyenas. Lions scavenge on carrion when the opportunity arises. They scavenge animals dead from natural causes such as disease or those that were killed by other predators. Scavenging lions keep a constant lookout for circling vultures, which indicate the death or distress of an animal. Most carrion on which both hyenas and lions feed upon are killed by hyenas rather than lions. Carrion is thought to provide a large part of lion diet. Predator competition. Lions and spotted hyenas occupy a similar ecological niche, and where they coexist they compete for prey and carrion. A review of data across several studies indicates a dietary overlap of 58.6%. Lions typically ignore spotted hyenas unless the lions are on a kill or are being harassed by the hyenas, while the latter tend to visibly react to the presence of lions, with or without the presence of food. Lions seize the kills of spotted hyenas. In the Ngorongoro crater, it is common for lions to subsist largely on kills stolen from hyenas, causing the hyenas to increase their kill rate. In Botswana's Kobe National Park, the situation is reversed. Hyenas frequently challenge lions and steal their kills, obtaining food from 63% of all lion kills. When confronted on a kill by lions, spotted hyenas may either leave or wait patiently at a distance of 30 to 100 meters, 100 to 330 feet, until the lions have finished. Hyenas are bold enough to feed alongside lions and to force the lions off a kill. The two species attack one another even when there is no food involved for no apparent reason. Lion predation can account for up to 71% of hyena deaths in Etosha National Park. Spotted hyenas have adapted by frequently mobbing lions that enter their territories. When the lion population in Kenya's Masai Mara National Reserve declined, the spotted hyena population increased rapidly. Experiments on captive spotted hyenas show that specimens without prior experience with lions act indifferently to the sight of them, but will react fearfully to lion scent. Lions tend to dominate cheetahs and leopards, steal their kills and kill their cubs and even adults when given the chance. Cheetahs in particular often lose their kills to lions or other predators. A study in the Serengeti ecosystem revealed that lions killed at least 17 of 125 cheetah cubs born between 1987 and 1990. Cheetahs avoid their competitors by using different temporal and habitat niches. Leopards are able to take refuge in trees. Lionesses, however, occasionally attempt to retrieve leopard kills from trees. Lions similarly dominate African wild dogs, taking their kills and preying on young and rarely adult dogs. Population densities of wild dogs are low in areas where lions are more abundant. However, there are a few reported cases of old and wounded lions falling prey to wild dogs. Lions also charge at Nile crocodiles. Depending on the size of the crocodile and the lion, either can lose kills or carrion to the other. Lions have been observed killing crocodiles that ventured onto land. Lions also enter waterways, evidenced by the occasional lion claw found in crocodile stomachs. Reproduction and life cycle. Most lionesses reproduce by the time they are 4 years of age. Lions do not mate at a specific time of year and the females are polyestrous. Like those of other cats, the male lion's penis has spines that point backward. During withdrawal of the penis, the spines rake the walls of the female's vagina, which may cause ovulation. A lioness may mate with more than one male when she is in heat. Generation length of the lion is about 7 years. The average gestation period is around 110 days. The female gives birth to a litter of between 1 and 4 cubs in a secluded den, which may be a thicket, a reed bed, a cave, or some other sheltered area, usually away from the pride. She will often hunt alone while the cubs are still helpless, staying relatively close to the den. Lion cubs are born blind, their eyes open around 7 days after birth. They weigh 1.2 to 2.1 kilograms, 2.6 to 4.6 pounds, at birth and are almost helpless, beginning to crawl a day or two after birth and walking around 3 weeks of age. To avoid a buildup of scent attracting the attention of predators, the lioness moves her cubs to a new den site several times a month, carrying them one by the nape of the neck. Usually, the mother does not integrate herself and her cubs back into the pride until the cubs are 6 to 8 weeks old. Sometimes this introduction to pride life occurs earlier, particularly if other lionesses have given birth at about the same time. When first introduced to the rest of the pride, lion cubs lack confidence when confronted with adults other than their mother. They soon begin to immerse themselves in the pride life, however, playing among themselves or attempting to initiate play with the adults. Lionesses with cubs of their own are more likely to be tolerant of another lioness's cubs than lionesses without cubs. Male tolerance of the cubs varies. Sometimes a male will patiently let the cubs play with his tail or his mane, whereas another may snarl and bat the cubs away. Pride lionesses often synchronize their reproductive cycles and communal rearing and suckling of the young, which suckle indiscriminately from any or all of the nursing females in the pride. The synchronization of births is advantageous because the cubs grow to being roughly the same size and have an equal chance of survival, and sucklings are not dominated by older cubs. Weaning occurs after 6 or 7 months. Male lions reach maturity at about 3 years of age and at 4 to 5 years are capable of challenging and displacing adult males associated with another pride. They begin to age and weaken at between 10 and 15 years of age at the latest. When one or more new males outs the previous males associated with the pride, the victors often kill any existing young cubs, perhaps because females do not become fertile and receptive until their cubs mature or die. Females often fiercely defend their cubs from a usurping male but are rarely successful unless a group of 3 or 4 mothers within a pride join forces against the male. Cubs also die from starvation and abandonment, and predation by leopards, hyenas and wild dogs. Up to 80% of lion cubs will die before the age of 2. Both male and female lions may be ousted from prides to become nomads, although most females usually remain with their birth pride. When a pride becomes too large, however, the youngest generation of female cubs may be forced to leave to find their own territory. When a new male lion takes over a pride, adolescent lions, both male and female, may be evicted. Lions of both sexes may be involved in group homosexual and courtship activities. Males will also head rub and roll around with each other before simulating sex together. Health. Although adult lions have no natural predators, evidence suggests most die violently from attacks by humans or other lions. Lions often inflict serious injuries on members of other prides they encounter in territorial disputes or members of the home pride when fighting at a kill. Crippled lions and cubs may fall victim to hyenas and leopards or be trampled by buffalo or elephants. Careless lions may be maimed when hunting prey. Ticks commonly infest the ears, neck and groin regions of lions. Adult forms of several species of the tapeworm genus Tania have been isolated from lion intestines, having been ingested as larvae in antelope meat. Lions in the Ngorongoro crater were afflicted by an outbreak of stable fly, Stomoxys calcitrans, in 1962. This resulted in lions becoming emaciated and covered in bloody, bare patches. Lions sought unsuccessfully to evade the biting flies by climbing trees or crawling into hyena burrows. Many died or migrated and the local population dropped from 70 to 15 individuals. A more recent outbreak in 2001 killed 6 lions. Captive lions have been infected with canine distemper virus, CDV, since at least the mid-1970s. CDV is spread by domestic dogs and other carnivores. A 1994 outbreak in Serengeti National Park resulted in many lions developing neurological symptoms such as seizures. During the outbreak, several lions died from pneumonia and encephalitis. Feline immunodeficiency virus and lentivirus also affect captive lions. Communication. When resting, lion socialization occurs through a number of behaviors. The animal's expressive movements are highly developed. The most common peaceful, tactile gestures are head rubbing and social licking, which have been compared with the role of allogrooming among primates. Head rubbing, the nuzzling of the forehead, face and neck against another lion, appears to be a form of greeting and is seen often after an animal has been apart from others or after a fight or confrontation. Males tend to rub other males, while cubs and females rub females. Social licking often occurs in tandem with head rubbing. It is generally mutual and the recipient appears to express pleasure. The head and neck are the most common parts of the body licked. This behavior may have arisen out of utility because lions cannot lick these areas themselves. Lions have an array of facial expressions and body postures that serve as visual gestures. A common facial expression is the grimace face or Fleckman response, which a lion makes when sniffing chemical signals and involves an open mouth with bared teeth, raised muzzle, wrinkled nose, closed eyes and relaxed ears. Lions also use chemical and visual marking. Males will spray and scrape plots of ground and objects within the territory. The lion's repertoire of vocalizations is large. Variations in intensity and pitch appear to be central to communication. Most lion vocalizations are variations of growling, snarling, meowing and roaring. Other sounds produced include purring, puffing, bleating and humming. Roaring is used to advertise its presence. Lions most often roar at night, a sound that can be heard from a distance of 8 kilometers, 5.0 miles. They tend to roar in a very characteristic manner, starting with a few deep, long roars that subside into a series of shorter ones. Conservation. The lion is listed as vulnerable on the UN Red List. In Africa, several large and well-managed protected areas in Africa host large lion populations. Where an infrastructure for wildlife tourism has been developed, cash revenue for park management and local communities is a strong incentive for lion conservation. Most lions now live in East and Southern Africa. Their numbers are rapidly decreasing, and fell by an estimated 30 to 50% in the late half of the 20th century. Primary causes of the decline include disease and human interference. In 1975, it was estimated that since the 1950s, lion numbers had decreased by half to 200,000 or fewer. Estimates of the African lion population range between 16,500 and 47,000 living in the wild in 2002 to 2004. In the Republic of the Congo, Adzawa-Kokoua National Park was considered a lion stronghold in the 1990s. By 2014, no lions were recorded in the protected area, so the population is considered locally extinct. The West African lion population is isolated from the one in Central Africa, with little or no exchange of breeding individuals. In 2015, it was estimated that this population consists of about 400 animals, including fewer than 250 mature individuals. They persist in 3 protected areas in the region, mostly in one population in the WAP Protected Area Complex, shared by Benin, Burkina Faso, and Niger. This population is listed as critically endangered. Field surveys in the WAP ecosystem revealed that lion occupancy is lowest in the W National Park, and higher in areas with permanent staff and thus better protection. A population occurs in Cameroon's Waza National Park, where between approximately 14 and 21 animals persisted as of 2009. In addition, 50 to 150 lions are estimated to be present in Burkina Faso's Arli-Singu ecosystem. In 2015, an adult male lion and a female lion were sighted in Ghana's Mole National Park. These were the first sightings of lions in the country in 39 years. In 2005, lion conservation strategies were developed for West and Central Africa, and/or East and Southern Africa. The strategies seek to maintain suitable habitat, ensure a sufficient wild prey base for lions, reduce factors that lead to further fragmentation of populations, and make lion-human coexistence sustainable. Lion depredation on livestock is significantly reduced in areas where herders keep livestock in improved enclosures. Such measures contribute to mitigating human-lion conflict. In 2015, a population of up to 200 lions that was previously thought to have been extirpated was filmed in the Alatash National Park, Ethiopia, close to the Sudanese border. In Asia, the last refuge of the Asiatic lion population is the 1,412 square kilometers, 545 square miles, Gir Forest National Park and surrounding areas in the region of Saurashtra or Kathiawar Peninsula in Gujarat state, India. The population has risen from approximately 180 lions in 1974 to about 400 in 2010. It is geographically isolated, which can lead to inbreeding and reduced genetic diversity. Since 2008, the Asiatic lion has been listed as endangered on the UN Red List. By 2015, the population had grown to 523 individuals inhabiting an area of 7,000 square kilometers, 2,700 square miles, in Saurashtra. The Asiatic lion census conducted in 2017 recorded about 650 individuals. The presence of numerous human habitations close to the national park results in conflict between lions, local people and their livestock. Some consider the presence of lions a benefit, as they keep populations of crop-damaging herbivores in check. The establishment of a second, independent Asiatic lion population in Kuno Wildlife Sanctuary, located in Madhya Pradesh was planned, but in 2017, the Asiatic lion reintroduction project seemed unlikely to be implemented. Captive breeding. Lions imported to Europe before the middle of the 19th century were possibly foremost Barbary lions from North Africa, or Cape lions from southern Africa. Another 11 animals thought to be Barbary lions kept in Addis Ababa Zoo are descendants of animals owned by Emperor Haile Selassie. WildLink International, in collaboration with Oxford University, launched an ambitious international Barbary lion project with the aim of identifying and breeding Barbary lions in captivity for eventual reintroduction into a national park in the Atlas Mountains of Morocco. However, a genetic analysis showed that the captive lions at Addis Ababa Zoo were not Barbary lions, but rather closely related to wild lions in Chad and Cameroon. In 1982, the Association of Zoos and Aquariums started a species survival plan for the Asiatic lion to increase its chances of survival. In 1987, it was found that most lions in North American zoos were hybrids between African and Asiatic lions. Breeding programs need to note origins of the participating animals to avoid crossbreeding different subspecies and thus reducing their conservation value. Captive breeding of lions was halted to eliminate individuals of unknown origin and pedigree. Wild-born lions were imported to American zoos from Africa between 1989 and 1995. Breeding was continued in 1998 in the frame of an African lion species survival plan. About 77% of the captive lions registered in the International Species Information System in 2006 were of unknown origin. These animals might have carried genes that are extinct in the wild and may therefore be important to the maintenance of the overall genetic variability of the lion. Interactions with humans. In zoos and circuses, lions are part of a group of exotic animals that have been central to zoo exhibits since the late 18th century. Although many modern zoos are more selective about their exhibits, there are more than 1,000 African and 100 Asiatic lions in zoos and wildlife parks around the world. They are considered an ambassador species and are kept for tourism, education and conservation purposes. Lions can reach an age of over 20 years in captivity. Apollo, a resident lion of Honolulu Zoo in Honolulu, Hawaii, died at age 22 in August 2007. His two sisters, born in 1986, were still alive in August 2007. The first European zoos spread among noble and royal families in the 13th century, and until the 17th century were called seraglios. At that time they came to be called menageries, an extension of the Cabinet of Curiosities. They spread from France and Italy during the Renaissance to the rest of Europe. In England, although the seraglio tradition was less developed, lions were kept at the Tower of London in a seraglio established by King John in the 13th century. This was probably stocked with animals from an earlier menagerie started in 1125 by Henry I at his hunting lodge in Woodstock, Oxfordshire, where according to William of Malmesbury lions had been stocked. Lions were kept in cramped and squalid conditions at London Zoo until a larger lion house with roomier cages was built in the 1870s. Further changes took place in the early 20th century when Carl Hagenbeck designed enclosures with concrete rocks, more open space in a moat instead of bars, more closely resembling a natural habitat. Hagenbeck designed lion enclosures for both Melbourne Zoo and Sydney's Taronga Zoo. Although his designs were popular, the use of bars and caged enclosures prevailed in many zoos until the 1960s. In the late 20th century, larger, more natural enclosures and the use of wire mesh or laminated glass instead of lower dens allowed visitors to come closer than ever to the animals. Some attractions such as the Cat Forest/Lion Overlook of Oklahoma City Zoological Park place the den on ground level, higher than visitors. Lion taming has been part of both established circuses and individual acts such as Siegfried and Roy. The practice began in the early 19th century by Frenchman Henri Martin and American Isaac van Amberg, who both toured widely and whose techniques were copied by a number of followers. Van Amberg performed before Queen Victoria in 1838 when he toured Great Britain. Martin composed a pantomime titled Les Lions de Mysore, The Lions of Mysore, an idea that Amberg quickly borrowed. These acts eclipsed equestrianism acts as the central display of circus shows and entered public consciousness in the early 20th century with cinema. In demonstrating the superiority of human over animal, lion taming served a purpose similar to animal fights of previous centuries. The ultimate proof of a tamer's dominance and control over a lion is demonstrated by the placing of the tamer's head in the lion's mouth. The now iconic lion tamer's chair was possibly first used by American Clyde Beatty, 1903 to 1965. Hunting and games. Lion hunting has occurred since ancient times and was often a royal pastime, intended to demonstrate the power of the king over nature. The earliest surviving record of lion hunting is an ancient Egyptian inscription dated circa 1380 BC that mentions Pharaoh Amenhotep III killing 102 lions with his own arrows during the first 10 years of his rule. The Assyrians would release captive lions in a reserved space for the king to hunt. This event would be watched by spectators as the king and his men, on horseback or chariots, killed the lions with arrows and spears. Lions were also hunted during the Mughal Empire, where Emperor Jahangir is said to have excelled at it. In ancient Rome, lions were kept by emperors for hunts as well as gladiator fights and executions. The Maasai people have traditionally viewed the killing of lions as a rite of passage. Historically, lions were hunted by individuals. However, due to reduced lion populations, elders discouraged solo lion hunts. During the European colonization of Africa in the 19th century, the hunting of lions was encouraged because they were considered as vermin and lion hides fetched £1 each. The widely reproduced imagery of the heroic hunter chasing lions would dominate a large part of the century. Trophy hunting of lions in recent years has been met with controversy, notably with the killing of Cecil the lion in mid-2015. Man-eating. Lions do not usually hunt humans, but some, usually males, seem to seek them out. One well-publicized case is the Tsavo man-eaters. In 1898, 28 officially recorded railway workers building the Kenya-Uganda Railway were taken by lions over 9 months during the construction of a bridge over the Tsavo River in Kenya. The hunter who killed the lions wrote a book detailing the animals' predatory behavior. They were larger than normal and lacked manes, and one seemed to suffer from tooth decay. The infirmity theory, including tooth decay, is not favored by all researchers. An analysis of teeth and jaws of man-eating lions in museum collections suggests that while tooth decay may explain some incidents, prey depletion in human-dominated areas is a more likely cause of lion predation on humans. In their analysis of man-eating, including the Tsavo incident, Kurbis Peterhans and Nazca acknowledge that sick or injured animals may be more prone to man-eating, but that the behavior is not unusual, nor necessarily aberrant where the opportunity exists. If inducements such as access to livestock or human corpses are present, lions will regularly prey upon human beings. The authors note the relationship is well attested among other pantherines and primates in the fossil record. The lion's proclivity for man-eating has been systematically examined. American and Tanzanian scientists report that man-eating behavior in rural areas of Tanzania increased greatly from 1990 to 2005. At least 563 villagers were attacked and many eaten over this period, a number far exceeding the Tsavo attacks. The incidents occurred near Selous National Park in Rufiji District and in Lindi Province near the Mozambican border. While the expansion of villages into bush country is one concern, the authors argued conservation policy must mitigate the danger because in this case, conservation contributes directly to human deaths. Cases in Lindi in which lions seize humans from the centers of substantial villages have been documented. Another study of 1,000 people attacked by lions in southern Tanzania between 1988 and 2009 found that the weeks following the full moon, when there was less moonlight, were a strong indicator of increased nighttime attacks on people. According to Robert R. Frump, Mozambican refugees regularly crossing Kruger National Park, South Africa, at night are attacked and eaten by lions. Park officials have said man-eating is a problem there. Frump said thousands may have been killed in the decades after apartheid sealed the park and forced refugees to cross the park at night. For nearly a century before the border was sealed, Mozambicans had regularly crossed the park in daytime with little harm. Cultural significance. The lion is one of the most widely recognized animal symbols in human culture. It has been extensively depicted in sculptures and paintings, on national flags, and in contemporary films and literature. It appeared as a symbol for strength and nobility in cultures across Europe, Asia, and Africa, despite incidents of attacks on people. The lion has been depicted as king of the jungle and king of beasts, and thus became a popular symbol for royalty and stateliness. The lion is also used as a symbol of sporting teams. Depictions of lions are known from the Upper Paleolithic period. Carvings and paintings of lions discovered in the Lascaux and Chauvet caves in France have been dated to 15,000 to 17,000 years old. A lioness-headed ivory carving found in Vogelherd Cave in the Swabian Alp, southwest Germany, is dubbed Löwenmensch, lion human, in German. The sculpture has been dated to at least 32,000 years old. and as early as 40,000 years ago, and originated from the Aurignacian culture. Sub-Saharan Africa. In sub-Saharan Africa, the lion has been a common character in stories, proverbs and dances, but rarely featured in visual arts. In some cultures, the lion symbolizes power and royalty. In Swahili language, the lion is known as Simba, which also means aggressive, king and strong. Some rulers had the word lion in their nickname. Sundiata Keita of the Mali Empire was called Lion of Mali. The founder of the Wallo Kingdom is said to have been raised by lions and returned to his people part lion to unite them using the knowledge he learned from the lions. In parts of West Africa, lions symbolize the top class of their social hierarchies. In more heavily forested areas where lions were rare, the leopard represented the top of the hierarchy. In parts of West and East Africa, the lion is associated with healing and is regarded as the link between seers and the supernatural. In other East African traditions, the lion is the symbol of laziness. In African folklore, the lion is portrayed as having low intelligence and is easily tricked by other animals. Near East. The ancient Egyptians portrayed several of their war deities as lionesses, which they revered as fierce hunters. Egyptian deities associated with lions include Sekhmet, Best, Moftet, Menhit, Pakhet, and Tefnut. These deities were often connected with the sun god Ra and his fierce heat, and their dangerous power was invoked to guard people or sacred places. The Sphinx, a figure with a lion's body and the head of a human or other creature, represented a pharaoh or deity who had taken on this protective role. The lion was a prominent symbol in ancient Mesopotamia from Sumer up to Assyrian and Babylonian times, where it was strongly associated with kingship. Lions were among the major symbols of the goddess Inanna/Ishtar. The Lion of Babylon was the foremost symbol of the Babylonian Empire. The lion hunt of Ashurbanipal is a famous sequence of Assyrian palace reliefs from circa 640 BC, now in the British Museum. The Lion of Judah is the biblical emblem of the tribe of Judah and the later kingdom of Judah. Lions are frequently mentioned in the Bible, notably in the book of Daniel, in which the eponymous hero refuses to worship King Darius and is forced to sleep in the lion's den where he is miraculously unharmed. Dan 6. In the book of Judges, Samson kills a lion as he travels to visit a Philistine woman. Judge 14. Far East. Indo-Persian chroniclers regarded the lion as keeper of order in the realm of animals. The Sanskrit word Nrajendra signifies a lion as king of animals in general or deer in particular. Narasimha, the man-lion, is one of 10 avatars of the Hindu god Vishnu. Singh is an ancient Indian Vedic name meaning lion, dating back over 2,000 years in ancient India. It was originally used only by Rajputs, a Hindu Kshatriya or military caste, but is used by millions of Hindu Rajputs and over 20 million Sikhs today. The lion capital of Ashoka, erected by Emperor Ashoka in the 3rd century CE, depicts 4 lions standing back to back. It was made the national emblem of India in 1950. The lion is also symbolic for the Sinhalese people, the term derived from the Indo-Aryan Sinhala, meaning the lion people or people with lion blood, while a sword-wielding lion is the central figure on the national flag of Sri Lanka. The lion is a common motif in Chinese art. It was first used in art during the late spring and autumn period, 5th or 6th century BC, and became more popular during the Han Dynasty, 206 BC to AD 220, when imperial guardian lions started to be placed in front of imperial palaces for protection. Because lions have never been native to China, early depictions were somewhat unrealistic. After the introduction of Buddhist art to China in the Tang Dynasty after the 6th century AD, lions were usually depicted wingless with shorter, thicker bodies and curly manes. The lion dance is a traditional dance in Chinese culture in which performers in lion costumes mimic a lion's movements, often with musical accompaniment from cymbals, drums and gongs. They are performed at Chinese New Year, the August Moon Festival and other celebratory occasions for good luck. Singapore derives its name from the Malay words Singka, lion, and Pura, city/fortress, which in turn is from the Tamil Sanskrit Singha Simha and Pura, which is cognate to the Greek pi lambda iota sigma, polis. Western world. Lion-headed figures and amulets were excavated in tombs in the Greek islands of Crete, Euboea, Rhodes, Paros, and Chios. They are associated with the Egyptian deity Sekhmet and date to the early Iron Age between the 9th and 6th centuries BC. The lion is featured in several of Aesop's fables, notably The Lion and the Mouse. The Nemean lion was symbolic in ancient Greece and Rome, represented as the constellation and zodiac sign Leo, and described in mythology, where its skin was worn by the hero Heracles, symbolizing victory over death. Lancelot and Gawain were also heroes slaying lions in the Middle Ages. In some medieval stories, lions were portrayed as allies and companions. Lion was the nickname of several medieval warrior rulers with a reputation for bravery, such as Richard the Lionheart. Lions are frequently depicted on coats of arms, either as a device on shields or as supporters, but the lioness is used much less frequently. Lions continue to appear in modern literature as characters, including the messianic Aslan in The Lion, The Witch in the Wardrobe in the Chronicles of Narnia series by C.S. Lewis, and the comedy Cowardly Lion in L. Frank Baum's The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. Lion symbolism was used from the advent of cinema. One of the most iconic and widely recognized lions is Leo, which has been the mascot for Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer Studios since the 1920s. The movie Born Free features Elsa the lioness and is based on the non-fiction book with the same title. The lion's role as king of the beasts has been used in the animated feature film The Lion King. Has been used in the animated feature film The Lion King. Has been used in the animated feature film The Lion King. Has been used in the animated feature film The Lion King. Has been used in the animated feature film The Lion King. Has been used in the animated feature film The Lion King.